Hello, my name is Paulo Diojmo, and thank you for watching the series. And previously we were discussing how to receive the baptism of the Holy Spirit. Now I would love to talk about the this next part, the gifts of the Holy Spirit. And this is where I'll be discussing more on after the baptism of the Holy Spirit and what does it mean. But first, I want to speak about the special meanings right now. Under Jesus' use, the baptism of the Holy Spirit is special names are filled with the Spirit, spiritual rebirth, or born again from above. The purpose of this is to do God's will and not for personal use or personal gain. Now, there is also not to say a counterfeit, but there is an opposite towards this, and this is Satan's use of the baptism of the Holy Spirit, and their special names is medium, psychics, and names that kind of goes along with it. And their purpose is not to do God's will, but to use it for personal use or personal gain. Now, in the world of the spiritualism, there's so many different interpretations, so many different people talking about so many different things that there's only two things that you need to understand: God's use, Satan's use. Jesus' use goes under God's use at the same time. That's why I use one of the special meaning of Jesus' use. Now, after the baptism of the Holy Spirit, there are literally a quarter, half, and full. Now, the 1/4% is when people become Christians and they kind of brush against this whelming from God, that they begin to transform their lives into something new. Now, halfway is when you go through the baptism, but you don't get the full amount, meaning he puts it right there as like for you to have, but when God is really calling you, he will put you through the full baptism. And when that happens, that is when a person must go through training through a pastor or somebody who's already been baptized for several years. Also, let me mention that those who've been possessed by Satan, they can, in fact, once they've been fully delivered by God and became a Christian and everything, they themselves sometimes can receive the baptism of the true Holy Spirit. And that is when they need to be with somebody who's already has the knowledge and understanding of what is going on, and to help that person out in understanding what is the real and what's the fake. I should put a series out on those who on the occult possessions, or sometimes known as demonic possessions. If it's God's will, we'll be putting it out hopefully soon. But now, after you're baptized of the Holy Spirit, and to activate this power or this gift is through 6 events. For instance, you can get baptized in praying. Worshiping is number 2. Number 3 is fasting. Number 4 is meditation. Number 5 is laying on hands on those who's been baptized. Or number 6, or anybody who, or any form that God can use to get you bring into Jesus' level. The thing is, if God has a calling on you, you need to go through all of the requirements. In some cases, I would use the requirements that, like for instance, when I was using the police officer, what makes a police officer a police officer? Well, he was trained by somebody that learns the rules and how to use the weapons, how to use the knowledge, how to use the act, That's why the police officer goes into certain areas and he's able, because he has the authority by the state, just like in a Christian. A Christian who's already been baptized, who's already been trained and everything, he has the authority of Jesus, who's been recognized by Jesus to do certain tasks, whatever God chooses.